The world of celebrities has always fascinated people everywhere, because it is not just about red carpets, glitz, and glamour, but also about deeply human stories of ambition, resilience, creativity, and connections that inspire millions. And when we look at someone like Blake Lively, who has carved her place in Hollywood, not just as a talented actress, but also as a fashion icon, mother, and philanthropist, we see how multifaceted celebrity life really is. She has gone from starring in Gossip Girl to building a respected career on the big screen. And along the way, she has stunned fans with her iconic fashion sense at the Met Gala and her ability to constantly reinvent her style. Yet what is even more inspiring is how she balances her career with her family life alongside her husband Ryan Reynolds, the two of them becoming one of the most beloved power couples in the entertainment industry. And while recent headlines about alleged texts or lawsuits spark controversy, what truly stands out is how celebrities like Blake find a way to remain poised in the face of challenges. And that story connects to many others in the celebrity world. Take, for instance, Ryan Reynolds himself, who began as a young actor in Canada, slowly working his way through sitcoms and smaller films before finally achieving global recognition through blockbusters like Deadpool. His journey shows that persistence, humor, and resilience are key elements in any successful career. And together, Blake and Ryan have also championed charities from children's hospitals to mental health awareness, showing that celebrity influence can be used for real good beyond Hollywood. As we reflect on their journey, it is impossible not to think of others like Hugh Jackman, whose career spanned from musicals to action roles like Wolverine and X-Men, and how he consistently uses his platform for kindness, philanthropy, and even bringing Broadway-style entertainment to audiences worldwide. Or consider someone like Justin Bieber, who was discovered on YouTube as a teenager and faced both immense adoration and intense criticism, yet managed to reinvent himself with a mature sound marriage and strong faith, showing how even under the harshest spotlight, growth is possible. In fact, the music industry is filled with comeback stories like Taylor Swift, who went from country roots to becoming one of the biggest pop stars in the world, crafting narratives through her albums that speak to millions of fans who see themselves in her songs. Or Beyoncé, whose career began as a young member of Destiny's Child, but evolved into one of the most powerful and inspirational forces in global entertainment, showing us that artistry, discipline, and vision can transform someone into a living legend. And we cannot forget actors like Robert Downey Jr., whose career nearly ended due to personal struggles. But his comeback as Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe turned him into one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood, reminding us that redemption is possible and new chapters can be written even after mistakes. The theme of resilience keeps showing up across celebrity journeys, whether it is Selena Gomez turning her challenges into advocacy for mental health, or Lady Gaga, not only conquering music, but also acting and becoming an outspoken advocate for acceptance and kindness. Or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who went from professional wrestling to becoming the highest paid actor in the world through hard work, positivity, and a relentless commitment to entertaining fans. Worldwide celebrities also face moments of intense scrutiny, like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, whose departure from royal duties shocked the world yet allowed them to tell their story in their own way and focus on projects that matter to them, from mental health advocacy to global humanitarian work. And even in the fashion industry, we see figures like Zendaya rise from Disney beginnings to Emmy-winning powerhouse and global style icon, redefining what young stars can achieve while using her influence to encourage authenticity and representation. The beauty of these interconnected stories is that they remind us celebrities are human beings who face ups and downs, triumphs and failures, just like anyone else. And whether we talk about bombshell text messages that shock the public or stunning performances on stage, what keeps audiences connected is the emotional truth at the heart of these stories. And that is why celebrity culture continues to captivate us. It is never just about fame. It is about dreams, challenges, reinventions, and the ways people use their platforms to touch lives. Worldwide, as we dive deeper into the world of celebrities, it becomes clear that every headline, every viral moment, and every so-called bombshell is just a small part of much larger stories about perseverance and humanity. For example, when you look at Blake Lively being in the spotlight with recent text-related controversies, you realize that no matter how polished a celebrity's public image may appear, there are always challenges behind the scenes. Yet what makes her stand out is her ability to move through those challenges with grace and a touch of humor, often using her sharp wit on social media alongside Ryan Reynolds to remind fans that even the biggest stars are also just people having fun with life. and this connects so well with other celebrity couples who balance public attention. With Private Life take, for example, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, who have been open about their family struggles and triumphs, reminding the world that vulnerability can be powerful, and that fans connect more deeply when stars let down the walls and share their human side. Similarly, Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard have turned their relationship into a source of inspiration by being candid about addiction, recovery, parenting, and the messy reality of love while still maintaining careers that continue to thrive. These stories prove that celebrity is not just about perfection, but about relatability and honesty. And then there are icons like Jennifer Lopez, who at more than 2 decades into her career continues to wow the world, not only with her music and acting, but also with her reinvention as a businesswoman, fashion mogul, and mother, proving that reinvention is timeless and age is never a limit in entertainment. And speaking of reinvention, who can forget Madonna, the Queen of White Pop, who has transformed herself countless times over the decades, showing every new generation that true artistry is about evolving with the times while never losing your voice. And in a completely different lane, you have athletes turned celebrities, like Serena Williams, whose dominance on the tennis court made her a household name, but whose advocacy for women's equality, health awareness, and empowerment has given her legacy far more depth than just sports achievements. These same threads of resilience and influence can be seen in celebrities from all over the globe, such as Priyanka Chopra, who started in Bollywood, won Miss World, and eventually became a Hollywood star, while simultaneously engaging in charity work and breaking cultural barriers to pave the way for other South Asian artists, or BTS, the South Korean supergroup, who turned global music upside down by blending pop with personal storytelling and becoming cultural ambassadors for positivity, self-love, and resilience. Their rise shows that fame is not confined to Hollywood or the Western world anymore. It is global and interconnected. And when you think about their journey from small practice rooms in Seoul to sold-out stadiums worldwide, it is impossible not to be inspired. Similarly, someone like Shakira, who went from a young Colombian singer to a global superstar while balancing motherhood, international fame, and charitable work through her Barefoot Foundation, has shown that celebrity is a powerful tool for building schools, uplifting communities, and sparking real-world change. And while controversies may sometimes draw attention, whether it is a bombshell text leak or a viral misunderstanding, what truly lasts is the work, the music, the performances, and the connections fans feel, because at the end of the day, celebrity is not just about headlines. It is about creating memories that stick in people's hearts, like Whitney Houston's unforgettable voice or Chadwick Boseman's powerful performances, that continue to inspire long after his passing, reminding us that legacy is built on impact, not scandal. When you take a step back and look at these stories together, you realize that every time the spotlight shines on a star, whether in moments of triumph or in moments of scrutiny, what really matters is how they rise and how they use their influence to inspire hope, kindness, and strength in a world that is always watching. And when we think about how celebrities handle both triumphs and turbulence, it is fascinating to see how many of them transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Take, for example, Robert Downey Jr., whose career once seemed almost over because of personal struggles. Yet he reinvented himself to become the face of one of the most successful film franchises in history as Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, proving that redemption is not only possible but can also lead to the greatest chapter of someone's career. And the same can be said of Demi Lovato, whose journey through personal battles, mental health challenges, and public scrutiny has turned into a platform where they now speak out about resilience, awareness, and self-compassion, showing fans that strength often comes from vulnerability. And on a different note, someone like Taylor Swift has shown how reinvention can be both artistic and strategic, as she went from country sweetheart to global pop superstar, all while fighting for her rights as an artist and using her music to tell stories that connect with millions. Her ability to turn personal experiences into art demonstrates how celebrities can turn even the most difficult moments into inspiration and connection. And this thread can also be found in someone like Miley Cyrus, who has transitioned through different eras of her career, from Disney star to controversial rebel, to respected musician who now uses her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, animal welfare, and self-acceptance. Her journey is proof that celebrities are not defined by one moment, but by how they continue to grow and shape themselves in the public eye. And while the spotlight often brings pressure, it also gives Opportunities for stars to give back in powerful ways like Rihanna, who not only built a groundbreaking music career but also created Fenty Beauty and Savage X. Fenty changing the conversation about inclusivity in fashion and beauty industries, all while donating millions to charity causes through the Clara Lionel Foundation. And speaking of philanthropy, Angelina Jolie stands out as a figure who turned her stardom into activism, dedicating much of her life to humanitarian work, refugee advocacy, and global health initiatives, making her a rare example of a celebrity who managed to balance artistry with meaningful world impact. And on the other hand, we have Keanu Reeves, who, despite being a global superstar, is famous for his humility. Kindness and generosity stories of him quietly supporting crew members on set, donating large portions of his earnings to charity, and treating fans with respect, have made him one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood, reminding us that being a celebrity is not just about glamour, but about character. And this same essence can be seen in someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who turned his wrestling fame into a powerhouse acting career and simultaneously built a reputation for positivity, motivation, and connection with his fans through both his films and his personal social media presence, where he often shares inspiring words, workouts, and even funny moments with his family, giving people a glimpse into both his work ethic and his humanity. When looking at all these examples, it becomes clear that celebrity culture is more than just a stage for scandals or bombshell texts. It is an arena where people continually reinvent themselves, inspire others, and in many cases, use their spotlight for good, whether it is through artistry, charity, or personal stories of resilience. Another fascinating layer of celebrity life is the way fans become part of the story, because without the fans, none of these journeys would hold the same weight, and stars often acknowledge this deeply. For example, Lady Gaga has built an entire movement with her Little Monsters, creating a community that thrives on acceptance, love, and courage, and her Born This Way Foundation has further amplified that connection by providing resources for mental health and anti-bullying efforts, showing that the bond between an artist and their supporters can evolve into something that changes lives beyond music. And then there is BTS, who arguably have one of the most passionate fandoms in the world, known as ARMY. And what makes their connection so special is the genuine gratitude the group expresses in every performance, every speech, and every social media post. Their fans are not just listeners, but partners in their journey. And that energy has created global waves in music culture and even philanthropy, as BTS and ARMY together have donated millions to causes ranging from education to disaster relief. And this dynamic between stars and fans is also visible in Taylor Swift's fandom, where Swifties not only celebrate her music, but also build entire communities around decoding her lyrics, supporting one another, and even helping to fund charitable causes, inspired by her acts of generosity. And when you look back to Michael Jackson, the king of pop, you see how fans shaped his legacy and how his artistry sparked global cultural shifts, proving that fan interactions are not just a side effect of fame, but a vital part of how celebrities sustain their careers across decades. This relationship can sometimes be intense, as in the case of Justin Bieber, who rose to stardom at such a young age that fan adoration and scrutiny became overwhelming. Yet through his ups and downs, his fans remained a constant presence, and today he openly credits his growth, both personal and musical, to the lessons he learned from that experience. And this interplay of fame and fan culture also shines with stars like Selena Gomez, who not only shares her artistry through music and acting, but also uses her massive social platform to spread messages about kindness, mental health, and social justice. Her fans in turn have rallied behind her in moments of vulnerability, creating a mutual cycle of support that makes her journey even more powerful. And then you have someone like Beyoncé, whose carefully crafted image and electrifying performances have created a sense of almost mythical admiration. But even in her quiet moments, she acknowledges the loyalty of her Bayhive and gives back through empowering music charity, projects, and cultural influence that shapes generations. And this idea that celebrity is co-created with fans highlights that the spotlight is not just about individuals, but about communities, movements, and collective experiences. And when you place this in context with controversies or bombshell revelations, it becomes clear that no single story defines a star, because what really shapes their legacy is the ongoing conversation between their work, their values, and the audiences who believe in them. As we continue weaving through these extraordinary stories, it is impossible not to recognize how celebrities also use fashion as a tool of storytelling, because clothing is never just clothing on the red carpet. It becomes a visual language that speaks about identity, heritage, creativity, and ambition. Think of Rihanna, who not only stunned audiences with her unforgettable Met Gala looks, but also redefined inclusivity in fashion through her Savage X Fenty brand, which celebrates all body types, skin tones, and identities, showing that style is about expression rather than exclusion. Similarly, Zendaya has become a true fashion icon with her fearless choices that often pay homage to cultural movements, eras, and trailblazers before her, and this boldness has won her admiration, not just for her beauty, but for her courage in using the spotlight to tell deeper stories through fabric, color, and design. And when we look at someone like Blake Lively herself, her fashion sense is often highlighted because she styles herself without a team of stylists, proving that authenticity can shine even on the biggest stages. Her red carpet appearances are often dissected by magazines and adored by fans because they reflect a confidence, an individuality that resonates with people who want to feel empowered in their own choices beyond her acting career. She reminds the world that self-expression can be both glamorous and deeply personal. And then there is the legendary Lady Diana, whose fashion still inspires designers today. Her elegance was never just about looking regal, it was about communicating compassion, accessibility, and a quiet form of rebellion against strict traditions. And that influence paved the way for modern royals like Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton to bring their own individuality to the world stage. Fashion also carries weight for male celebrities, such as Harry Styles, who has unapologetically embraced gender-fluid clothing choices, creating conversations about freedom, self-identity, and art, and his willingness to break stereotypes has inspired countless fans to embrace their own authenticity, whether it's through bold colors, painted nails, or a simple refusal to conform to outdated rules and beyond. Individuals' entire movements have formed around celebrity fashion, such as the rise of K-pop idols who shape global trends through music videos and live performances, their looks blending high fashion with streetwear to craft images that resonate, with youth across continents proving that style is more than appearance. It is a bridge between cultures, generations, and dreams. Fashion becomes another chapter in the larger story of fame, ambition, artistry, and human connection, and it shows us that whether it's a glittering gown on the red carpet or a casual street look snapped by paparazzi, every outfit tells a story, and every story becomes part of a legacy that outlives trends. Now, while fashion and performance often catch the headlines, there is an equally powerful side of celebrity culture that deserves celebration, and that is the immense charity work and humanitarian impact so many stars dedicate themselves to, because beyond the glitz and glamour lies a real desire to give back to communities and to the world. Take someone like Angelina Jolie, whose decades of work as a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador and later as a special envoy has changed countless lives, bringing awareness to refugee crises across the globe and inspiring millions to take notice and action. Or think of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who together have donated millions to causes ranging from children's healthcare to supporting marginalized communities and even stepping up during the global health crisis to provide food and resources to those in need. Their generosity is proof that their influence extends far beyond the screen. Then there is Taylor Swift, who has quietly and sometimes publicly donated to educational institutions, food banks, and fans in need, often sending financial support through direct messages and letters, showing that kindness can ripple outward in ways that may never make the front page, but still transform lives. Celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio have become synonymous with environmental activism, using his foundation and his platform to fight for climate change, awareness, wildlife preservation, and sustainable living. His dedication has made him a leading voice on global stages, reminding us that fame can become a megaphone for urgent issues. In the same way, Lady Gaga has championed mental health support and LGBTQ+ rights through her Born This Way Foundation, inspiring young people to embrace their true selves while providing tangible resources for emotional well-being. And when we talk about using influence for good, we cannot forget Oprah Winfrey, whose entire legacy is rooted in empowering others through philanthropy, mentorship, and the creation of opportunities for underprivileged children worldwide. These efforts reveal a pattern that fame, when used with purpose, can shift conversations, inspire legislation, and create change on scales that might otherwise seem impossible. Even global icons like BTS have leveraged their influence to speak at the United Nations to campaign for self-love and to make significant donations toward education and crisis relief. Their message resonates with younger generations by blending artistry, activism, and authenticity, proving that the role of celebrity is evolving beyond performance into leadership and global responsibility. It is touching to see how many fans are also moved to follow in the footsteps of their idols, organizing fundraisers, volunteering locally, and even creating social movements inspired by the kindness of the celebrities they admire. Reminding us all that change is not just about one famous face, but about communities coming together to mirror that generosity and compassion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspirational celebrity stories.